Have you ever used a razor and wondered, who invented this? Who made shaving so convenient? Well, let me take you on an inspiring journey into the life of a man who turned a simple idea into a billion-dollar empire. King Camp Gillette. Imagine struggling for years, chasing one failed idea after another, only to finally create something so simple, yet so powerful, that it builds a billion-dollar empire. This is the story of a man whose vision turned an everyday necessity into a global industry. A man whose name is still on millions of products over a century later. This is the inspiring journey of King Camp Gillette, the father of the modern razor and a true business genius. But before we dive into his genius invention, let's rewind back to his roots. Early life, the seeds of greatness. King Camp Gillette was born on January 5, 1855, in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and raised in Chicago, Illinois. His ancestors were French Huguenots, who had fled religious persecution and settled in the newly founded Massachusetts Bay Colony in North America in 1630. The Gillette family survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, a tragedy that destroyed much of the city. But young King wasn't an ordinary boy. He wasn't just a dreamer. He was a thinker. He believed that true wealth came from ideas, not inheritance. He wanted to create something that would change the world. The struggles, years of failure. At just 21 years old, Gillette became a traveling salesman. For 28 long years, he knocked on doors selling household goods. He traveled from town to town, working tirelessly. Yet deep down, he knew he was destined for more. He kept searching for one idea, the one invention that would make him a household name. Over the years, he experimented with different products, valves for faucets, electrical wire casings, and more. But none of these inventions brought him the success he dreamed of. The breakthrough idea, a stroke of genius. In the 1890s, while working for Crown Cork and Seal Company, Gillette noticed something interesting. Bottle caps with cork seals were discarded after just one use. That's when he had a realization. What if I could create something that people would use once and then throw away? Something so essential that millions of people would need it every day. And then, one morning in 1895, while struggling to shave with his dull, straight razor, it hit him. Men at the time used straight razors that required daily sharpening with a leather strop. But Gillette thought, what if there was a razor blade so thin and sharp that once dull, instead of sharpening it, you could simply throw it away and just replace it? And just like that, the idea of the modern safety razor was born. Turning a dream into reality. It was a brilliant idea. Now, having an idea is one thing, but making it a reality, that's the real battle. Gillette took his idea to engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. They laughed at him. Impossible, they said. You can't create razor blades that are both ultra-thin and durable. Imagine a world where every morning men struggled with a single razor, dull, tedious, and needing constant sharpening. A time when shaving was not just a routine, but a challenge. Then came a man with a vision, King Camp Gillette, who dared to revolutionize the way we shave forever. In the mid-19th century, safety razors existed, but they still relied on heavy forged blades. The Campa brothers made an attempt to improve this, but their design was far from perfect. It was Gillette who saw the true potential for innovation. He didn't just improve the safety razor, he reinvented it. His breakthrough? A thin, disposable, high-profit margin razor blade made from carbon steel sheets. It was lightweight, efficient, and, most importantly, affordable for the masses. But here's the kicker. His razor sold for a staggering $5. That may not sound like much today, but back then it was equivalent to half a working man's weekly salary, about $170 in today's money. Yet, despite the high price, millions were sold. Why? Because Gillette had created something that saved people time, effort, and frustration. But success didn't come easy. The biggest hurdle was engineering the blade itself. The steel had to be thin, yet sharp and durable, something unheard of at the time. Many believed it was impossible. Experts dismissed the idea, saying it couldn't be done, but Gillette refused to give up. Then came Stephen Porter, a skilled machinist who used Gillette's drawings to craft the first ever disposable razor blade. That actually worked. But even that wasn't enough. The razor needed to be sturdy, reliable, and easy to use. Gillette faced numerous rejections. But was Gillette the kind of man to give up? Never. That's where William Emery Nickerson entered the picture. A brilliant machinist, Nickerson, who believed in the idea, refined the design, strengthening the handle and frame to properly support the thin blade. More importantly, he developed the machinery needed to mass-produce these blades with precision and efficiency. Nickerson's expertise didn't go unnoticed. He secured patents for hardening and sharpening the blades, ensuring that Gillette's invention wasn't just a concept, but a global phenomenon in the making. What started as a dream became a legacy. The razor industry would never be the same again. And it all began with one man's unwavering belief in an idea the world thought was impossible. In 1901, after years of struggle, they finally cracked the code. The birth of an empire, the Gillette Safety Razor. Finally, Gillette founded the American Safety Razor Company on September 28, 1901, later renamed the Gillette Safety Razor Company in July 1902. Gillette obtained a trademark registration, which was 0056921, for his portrait and signature on the packaging. But there was one big challenge left. Would people actually buy it? Back then, razors were expensive, but Gillette had a game-changing strategy, one that would change business forever. He sold the razor handle for cheap, but the blades needed constant replacement. This became known as the razor and blade business model, a strategy that companies still use today. Actual production began in 1903. The first year, they sold only 51 razors and 168 blades. But by 1904, in second year of business, Gillette witnessed a remarkable surge in sales, moving 90,884 razors and 123,648 blades. This success was largely driven by his affordable pricing, efficient automated manufacturing, and strategic advertising. To streamline operations, a separate firm, Townsend and Hunt, managed sales and distribution. However, in 1906, the parent company acquired Townsend and Hunt for a substantial $300,000, further strengthening Gillette's growing empire. By 1908, the company had global manufacturing facilities in the United States, Canada, Britain, France, and Germany. Razor sales reached 450,000 units, and blade sales exceeded 70 million units worldwide by 1915. World War I, the razor that won the war. During World War I, 1917, the U.S. government provided American soldiers with Gillette field razor sets, cementing the brand's reputation. Despite internal corporate struggles, Gillette held on to his brand, knowing that Europe would soon become a massive market for his product. This made Gillette a household name and secured lifelong customers. By the time the war ended, millions of men had become loyal users. The personal life and ideals of King Gillette. Beyond his razor empire, Gillette was a utopian socialist with grand visions. In his book, The Human Drift, 1894, he proposed a society where all industries would be owned by a single public corporation, and the entire U.S. population would live in a massive city called Metropolis, powered by Niagara Falls. His 1910 book, World Corporation, was a business prospectus for this idea, and he even offered Theodore Roosevelt a $1 million salary to lead the corporation. Roosevelt declined. His final book, The People's Corporation, 1924, co-written with Upton Sinclair, later influenced politicians like Glenn H. Taylor. Gillette was a Freemason, rising to the rank of Grand Master. He married Alanta Lanty Ella Gaines in 1890, and they had a son, King Gaines Gillette, 1891 to 1955. He traveled extensively and became a global icon. Many people assumed his face on the razor packets was just a marketing image, only to be surprised when they met him in person. In 1922-23, Gillette built a luxurious 4,800 square foot residence in Palm Springs, featuring a Spanish colonial revival design. However, despite his business success, he nearly went bankrupt due to overinvestment in real estate and the Great Depression wiping out much of his corporate shares. The legacy that lives on. Gillette revolutionized marketing with his razor blade business model, which became a template for many modern consumer goods. His innovative freebie marketing ideas set a precedent in the industry. By 2005, the Gillette Company had expanded its portfolio, selling products under brands like Braun, Oral-B, and Duracell. That same year, Procter & Gamble acquired Gillette for $57 billion, renaming it Global Blades and Razors while keeping the Gillette brand alive. King Gillette's Santa Monica legacy. In 1926, Gillette purchased a vast ranch in the Santa Monica Mountains near Calabasas, California. The estate, designed by architect Wallace Neff, was later sold by his widow to Hollywood director Clarence Brown, who hosted elite Hollywood parties there. In 1952, Bob Hope bought the property and donated it to the Claretian Order of the Catholic Church, which used it as a seminary for 25 years. Over time, the site changed hands, eventually becoming Soka University of America, SUA. In 1992, environmental activists halted plans for a major expansion, and by 2007, the 588-acre estate was transformed into King Gillette Ranch, a public park adjacent to Malibu Creek State Park. Today, the ranch is not only a historical landmark, but also a popular filming location. It has appeared in the NBC reality show The Biggest Loser since 2008, Netflix's 2019 series Ratched, and the 2021 movie The Starling starring Melissa McCarthy. The rise and fall, from riches to bankruptcy. King Gillette had built an empire. By the 1920s, his company was worth millions. But despite his success, he lost most of his fortune. He had invested heavily in real estate, and when the Great Depression hit, he lost nearly everything. The very company he built was taken over by others. The final years and eternal rest. King Gillette passed away on July 9, 1932, in Los Angeles, California. He was laid to rest in the Great Mausoleum at Forest Lawn Memorial Park Cemetery, Glendale, California. Even decades after his passing, his name lives on not just on razor blades, but as a symbol of innovation, marketing genius, and relentless determination. The power of a simple idea. King C. Gillette's story is proof that one simple idea, no matter how small, can change the world. From a struggling salesman to a billion-dollar empire, his journey teaches us that persistence beats failure. So, if you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever had an idea that people laughed at, remember King Gillette. The world didn't believe in him until he made them. So, the next time you pick up a razor, remember, it wasn't just about shaving. It was about changing the world. What's stopping you from making your dream a reality? If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, comment your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Motivate channel for more amazing and powerful success stories that will fuel your ambition. Remember, success starts with just one idea. See you in the next video. Stay motivated, stay inspired. Thank you.